Hey everyone, welcome back. Your go-to channel for all things tech. Today we're tackling a common issue, your iPhone battery draining too quickly. We've all been there, that moment when you realize your phone's about to die and you're nowhere near a charger. It's stressful, right? But don't worry. In this video, I'm going to walk you through the best step-by-step procedures to optimize your iPhone's battery life so you can squeeze every last bit of juice out of it. Whether you're rocking the latest iPhone or an older model, these tips will definitely help you out. Let's dive right in. All right, so the first thing we need to do is check the heart of the matter, your iPhone's battery health. This is like going to the doctor for a checkup, but for your phone. Now head over to your phone settings. You know the drill, that little gear icon. Once you're in there, scroll down until you see battery. Tap on that and then select battery health and charging. This screen is important, guys. It shows you your battery's maximum capacity. This number basically tells you how much charge your battery can hold compared to when it was brand new. Ideally, you want this number to be as close to 100% as possible. If it's below 80%, it might be time to consider replacing your battery. A degraded battery just won't cut it in the long run. But don't sweat it if your battery health is still looking good. There's still a ton we can do to optimize its performance and make sure it stays healthy for as long as possible. Keep watching because we're about to dive into some serious battery-saving tips. Trust me, these little tweaks can make a world of difference. Next up, we're tackling a silent battery killer background app refresh. You know how some apps just love to run in the background even when you're not using them? They're constantly checking for updates, pulling data, basically draining your battery without you even realizing it. But don't worry, we're going to take control back. Go back to your settings and this time tap on General. Scroll down a bit until you see Background App Refresh. Now you have a couple of options here. You can completely turn off Background App Refresh, which is the most aggressive approach, but it can also be inconvenient for some apps you might actually want to keep running in the background. The other option is to go through the list of apps and individually toggle off Background App Refresh for the ones that don't absolutely need it. Think about it. Do you really need that social media app or that game constantly refreshing in the background? Probably not. Turning this off for apps that don't require constant updates can seriously boost your battery life. You'll be surprised how much of a difference it makes. Let's be real, the iPhone's display is gorgeous, but it's also one of the biggest battery hogs out there. The brighter your screen, the more power it consumes. So let's tame this beast and save some precious battery life. First things first, adjust your screen brightness. You can do this manually by swiping up from the bottom of the screen to access Control Center and adjusting the brightness slider, but an even smarter move is to enable auto brightness. This nifty feature automatically adjusts your screen brightness based on the ambient lighting conditions. It's a simple toggle in the display and brightness settings. While you're there, let's talk about auto lock. This setting determines how long your iPhone screen stays on after you've stopped using it. The shorter the auto lock time, the less battery your screen will use. I recommend setting it to 30 seconds. It's a small change, but it can make a big difference in the long run. Chapter 4. Low power mode, your battery's best friend. All right, let's talk about low power mode, your iPhone's secret weapon for extending battery life. This feature is a lifesaver when you're running low on juice and need your phone to last as long as possible. Enabling low power mode is super easy. You can find it in your settings under battery, or even better, add it to your control center for quick access. Once you turn it on, your iPhone will temporarily reduce or disable certain features to conserve battery. But don't worry, it's not as drastic as it sounds. Low power mode will temporarily reduce things like background app activity, mail fetch, and even some visual effects. It's like putting your phone on a diet, but in a good way. You'll still be able to make calls, send texts, browse the web, all the essential stuff. And once you've charged your phone back up, low power mode automatically turns off. Chapter 5. Unnecessary features, the battery drainers you don't need. Now let's talk about some sneaky battery drainers that you might not even realize are eating up your precious battery life. These are features that can be super useful, but let's be honest, we don't always need them turned on all the time. First up, location services. Yeah, it's pretty handy when you need directions or want to find a nearby restaurant. But do all apps really need to know your location all the time? Probably not. Head over to Privacy and Security in your settings, then tap on Location Services. Here you can see a list of all the apps that have access to your location. Take a minute to review this list and disable location access for apps that don't absolutely need it. Next, let's talk about push notifications. Those little alerts can be informative, but they can also be a major distraction and a drain on your battery. Go to notifications in your settings and take control. You can customize notifications for each app, choosing to receive them as banners, alerts, or not at all. Consider disabling notifications for apps that aren't essential or for those that tend to send a lot of unnecessary alerts. Chapter 6. Battery Drain SOS Emergency Measures. Alright, so you've tried all the previous tips, but your iPhone battery is still draining faster than you'd like. Don't worry, we've got your back. Here are a few extra measures you can take to troubleshoot the issue. First, let's play detective and identify the culprit. Head back to the battery section in your settings and take a close look at the battery usage by app section. This will give you a breakdown of which apps have been consuming the most battery life. If you see an app using a disproportionate amount of power, consider updating it, deleting it, or limiting its usage. Another thing you can try is resetting all settings. Now, before you freak out, this won't erase your data, but it will restore your iPhone settings to their default values. This means things like your Wi-Fi passwords, Bluetooth connections, and notification preferences will be reset. It can be a bit of a hassle to set everything back up, but it can sometimes resolve weird battery drain issues. And finally, always make sure your iPhone software is up to date. Apple regularly releases iOS updates that often include bug fixes and performance improvements, some of which can directly impact battery life. To check for updates, go to General in your settings, then tap on Software Update. Stay powered up! And that's it. The best step-by-step procedures to optimize your iPhone's battery life and tackle those annoying battery drain issues. Remember, it's all about taking control of your phone's settings and making smart choices about how you use it. By following these tips, you'll be able to squeeze every last bit of juice out of your iPhone's battery and keep it going strong for longer. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe for more tech tips and tricks. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Stay powered up.